Right, welcome guys. Until Dawn, first reactions are here, the first reviews are in. Apparently people like it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things that the trailer dropped and people were like, what? This doesn't look like Until Dawn. This looks like they've changed a lot of things and it's now something very different. So, I don't know. I just thought we'd cover it. It's one of those things I like to do here on the channel is cover the first reactions. Typically, and it is typically what happens is the first reviews are always really, really good. And then it goes out to the main audience, the actual, paying public. And people are like, oof, this is shit. So, I don't know. I like to compare it. This is why I like to do these videos. I always like to compare and see what people say. So, yeah, and Until Dawn first reactions. Apparently people are saying it's the most delightfully ingenious horror film of the year. I mean, that's not exactly a stretch, is it? It's not been... I can't think of another horror film that's come out this year, so... That's not exactly a singing endorsement, is it? But whatever. Hit subscribe if you're new here, or you're a returning viewer that isn't subscribed. I'm really trying to grow the channel, and I can't do that without you. And I can't thank you enough for those that are subscribing and hearing that call. So thank you in advance. But let's take a look, right? It says this, first social media reactions for Until Dawn have dropped and they're overwhelmingly positive. Has Shazam filmmaker David F. Sandberg managed to surprise fans unhappy with this adaptation's direction? Who knows? You'll only really know when it comes to be released properly. So the first social media reactions for Until Dawn have just dropped and they're overwhelmingly positive. By now it's hard to know how much stock to put into these first reactions, because they are pretty much always positive. There hasn't been a huge amount of positive buzz surrounding Until Dawn due to what appears to be some huge changes from the game it's based on, rather than adapting that choose-your-own-adventure style story. It is a Groundhog... Well, it's just a Groundhog Day horror film, basically, is what it is. So apparently that's paid off. So who knows? Let's take a look, right? The full reviews are going to drop at some point soon. Here's the synopsis, by the way. 1 year after her sister Melanie mysteriously disappeared, Clover and her friends head into the remote valley where she vanished in search of answers. Exploring an abandoned visitor center, they find themselves stalked by a masked killer and horrifically murdered one by one, only to wake up and find themselves back at the beginning of the same evening. Trapped in the valley, they're forced to relive the nightmare again and again, only each time the killer threat is different, each more terrifying than the last. Hope dwindling, the group soon realizes they have a limited number of deaths left, and the only way to escape is to survive until dawn. It does sound dumb. It sounds schlocky, which schlocky's not necessarily bad, but that is a bit dumb. But anyway, whatever. So, yeah, let's see what their reactions are. Courtney Howard said, Until Dawn is one of the most delightfully ingenious horror films of the year. Doubling as a love letter to the genre, it slays all day, or rather all night long. Thrills and kills galore, a crowd pleaser with well-crafted scares, sneaking in some sincerity through the back door. Interesting. If you're open to it deviating from the game, you're in for a great time with Until Dawn. Again, that's the thing though. You've got to accept that it's not that they're just piggybacking off the name, right? So yeah, I don't know. Some people will be annoyed with that. Premise is super fun with a likable ensemble cast and tons of surprises, gags, and bloody, gnarly gore. Feels like a 2000 horror movie in the best way. I didn't want it to end. 2000 horror movie, that sounds like Schlock. When was Jason X released? That was around then, wasn't it? Was Jason X released around? It must have been released in the 2000s. That's when horror movies went like... Normally, they all just end up in space. It was just bizarre and weird, and yeah, horror took a really weird turn in the 2000s. But again, some of them aren't horrendous. I mean, they're horrendous, right? They are shit. But I mean, some of them aren't horrendous in the respect that you can enjoy watching them. I don't know. It's funny. Until Dawn movie, I had a blast. It plays a little fast and loose with the lore, but so much care is paid to the scares and kills, keeping them fresh and novel. Strong cast performances, slightly nostalgic, teens in trouble vibes. How is that nostalgic? That's pretty much every horror movie these days, teens in trouble, but alright. Pony Smash is the director, by the way. Sandberg. Nailed it. Review coming. Wow, Until Dawn movie is my surprise horror film of the year. Director takes a video game and turns it into a gloriously bloody and gory film full of combustible scenes and funny moments. The deaths are fresh and the cast have incredible chemistry. This film is so much fun. Yeah. I don't know. So Until Dawn movie is undeniably the most horror film of the year. It's the only horror film of the year. Alright. Chock full of creatures, beasties, creepy production design. If this is a bit like Cabin in the Woods, then I'm game for it, because that's a good film. Ensemble of game actors. The movie ingeniously capitalizes on the premise's promise, and it's a meta horror blast. You want to sit with an audience. That does sound like Cabin in the Woods, doesn't it? Super fun. Until Dawn movie. Great cast, set pieces. Kills are fantastic. Pace and energy are good. And some nice jump scares. Surprising moments. A good time at the movies. Oh, the zombie and I have the same smile. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up, no one cares. Just saw Until Dawn movie and it's effing amazing. The Wendigo designs are terrifying. Especially from a certain character. The amount of gore kept me very ecstatic. It's like a mixture of The Descent with the goofiness of Evil Dead. Yeah. It does sound like Cabin in the Woods then. They're going for Schlock. And yes, it connects with the video game. Okay. This article should have had that at the top. That's interesting. If you read all of those reviews from this perspective of like Descent with goofiness of Evil Dead, that says, yeah, that sounds like a 2000's movie, doesn't it? That sounds like Schlock. But fun Schlock. I don't know. Who knows? This might be shit. It might be good. Who knows, I guess. What else would you say? I'd love to hear your thoughts, though. So please do drop them all down below in the comments. Are you going to go watch this movie or not? The fact that it apparently does connect with the video game, that's interesting. That is actually interesting. I'd love it to be a surprise Cabin in the Woods sequel. That'd be good. It's not going to be, obviously. They should do a sequel to that. That'd be good. Anyway, thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.